guys, it's John from Robin Hood Gaming, and as you can see, I am playing Kenshi. Kenshi is a new, or fairly new, indie game, and it's out on Desura, and it's being developed by a single guy. So I'll leave a link in the description. You can buy it off Desura, and I think you can buy it off his website too. I'm going to load up the game here. It's a little slow loading, so I'm just going to click load and let it load while I talk. But I'll leave a link in the description to the Desura page where you can buy it. I bought it from Desura. Or you can buy it from him. I think you can buy it on his website. Don't hold me to that. I'll check. But I think you can buy it on his website too. So I just want to say, it is loading up now. So Kenshi is a pretty new game, and like I said, it's being developed by a single dude. So the way Kenshi works, this might look kind of laggy because I'm only getting like 13 frames here. I don't know. So the way Kenshi works is basically the way he describes it is a squad-based RPG. So now what this means is RPG in the sense that you level up and do all this kind of cool stuff, get better, and squad-based in the sense that you can get men and you can control them all. So if I want to control this guy, which was not my original character, this was my original character, you can do so. This guy has his completely own set of level, or completely his own set of skills and everything like that, which you can see there, as well as my original character. He also has his own equipment and inventory, which you can change. It's not dominated by him. That's a different guy. But you can do that. Sorry, I have the hiccups. So you can do anyway. Let's just move out of this little city here. I'm in this little town now, resting. I've been playing this game for a little while, and I'm starting to get the hang of it. So let's go over some of the controls. Basically, to move around on the map, which is pretty big, if you click the map, it pops up here. Blue X is where you are. Okay, so that's the map. The WASD system to move around on the map like so, like I'm doing. Right-clicking will move your character there. Currently, I have them all selected. You can drag a box over them all, or some of them, and say go here, or you actually have a little panel here, like I showed you. You can name. When you recruit a new character, you actually get to name him and design him to look however you want. So all these characters here that I have made here, let's see if I can spread them out a little bit maybe. You can get a little bit of a look and see how much different they are from each other. Here's just a couple of them anyway. So this was my first character here. Karn over here, this was my second character. Shiv was my third. Garth. Anyway, like you see what I mean. There's not a whole lot for character customization yet. As you see, they look pretty decently the same. You can change height, build, posture, and then later on, as they get better and stuff, you can choose their weapons and their armor, and you can give them backpacks. This is their inventory. Cool thing about this game, the inventory works a lot like I've found, like Resident Evil did, or does, I guess. You have a certain amount of space for your inventory, and objects take up so much space, which is neat. I really did like the inventory system in Resident Evil. So, anyway, let's move along. See if we can find some bad guys here. Kind of look off. Nope, these guys might be bad guys. Oh yeah, if you press the space bar, kind of it pauses the game, unpauses, pause, unpause, pause, unpause. That's just by pressing the space bar. So I think those might be some bad guys there. See those little dots way off in the distance? Those are guys way out in the desert. Yeah, it's kind of barren. It's just, when you're playing this game, it's supposed to be this giant wasteland. There really isn't any story at this point. The guy says his name is Chris. He's a really nice guy. He's always on the forums, so you can go and you can talk to him there, give him your ideas, tell him how you like the game, that kind of thing. So he says, anyway, Chris says that he's going to put in factions eventually and all kinds of cool stuff. So basically, let's take a look at the inventory. You have a couple different kinds of weapons. Katana is kind of the main sort of most overview weapon, or the main sort of weapon, I guess. It's most common. There's also there's heavy weapons, hack and slash weapons. Pretty much they're all just really big swords at this point. This is the best way to say it. This guy has a horse chopper, which, as you see, is under the saber class and does cutting damage. Now, they may all look the same, but they are completely different in your stats. So this was my first character. As you can see, his katana skill is 15, and his sabers is obviously 0. So depending on which weapon you use more, basically that's the skill you're going to improve with. He uses a katana all the time, so his katana skill is higher. Also, you have different, you have your other stats down here. I guess whenever you click on a character, they'll pop up along this area here. So if I were to click on my other character, it would pop up his stats. So you have your attack skill, you have your defensive skill, medic skill, weapon skills, because when your characters get hit, they actually get knocked unconscious, and well, if they die anyway, this is their health here. They actually have health, head, chest, stomach, left arm, right leg, left leg, damage, or health anyway, and they have a certain amount of blood. I believe they pass out when they lose a certain amount of blood. I could be mistaken. I haven't been playing it for that long, so don't hold me to that. But I believe that's how they pass out, or how they start to pass out anyway, is by losing a certain amount of blood, which, you know, is kind of a neat thing. So basically, once you damage your opponent, your object is to kill your enemies, obviously. So if your head or chest or stomach gets to -100, I believe, your character is dead. He cannot come back, you cannot heal him. But as long as he's wounded, I'm going to see if I can get into a battle here. Might be a little laggy, I don't know, I'm just kind of on my laptop right now. So I'm going to get into a battle and kind of show you how the fighting system works a little, and the strategy of it, and how things go, and how to patch up your guys after a battle, after they're hurt. So as you see, my group is running, and I think one guy is lagging behind because he's either slow or he's limping because he's hurt. I forget. I haven't played in a little while. So basically, if I'm just going to tell you this now. I didn't tell you before because I had some things to say and I didn't want him to get there. And, anyway, I'm just kind of stumbling over myself right now, aren't I? So basically, see these little bars here on the side? This works a lot like The Sims, or I guess I think The Sims were the first ones to do it. Have that sort of, oh, there's some bad guys there. Good. I think The Sims were the first ones to do it. Have some sort of fast-forward timeline sort of thing where you can speed up, stop, and slow down the timeline. Right now it's just moving at normal speed. If I click this, they'll move faster. If I click this, they'll move really fast. So they'll still go where I told them to go. It just kind of speeds up the time. So everyone else and I move faster, obviously. Okay, so I'm going to hit space and pause it. So it's still in a fast-forward mode, but space bar pauses the game. See, I can unpause it and pause it at any point. Let's see if I can... I wonder if I... This one thing I found about this game is the combat is really difficult. It's challenging because you start off with one character who is literally 1,000 times worse than the bandits. This is one of the very first games I played where the bandits are better than you. It's weird. You have to get used to it, but it's cool too because there's like guards in the towns and stuff like that, and I'm gonna put it on normal time. Guards in the towns and stuff like that, and so basically what you want to kind of do is build up. Okay, I'll show you this quickly too. When you hit the block button, it brings up your defensive skill by +20, and by successfully blocking a certain number of skills, I believe you earn points in your blocking skill, your defensive skill, and your attack skill goes up 1 point every time you kill an enemy. That's what I found anyway. Every time I kill an enemy, my guy's skill goes up, so I just assume that's what it is. I don't think there's an experience or level point quite exactly yet. Not the way you or me would think about, oh, I'm going to level up. Okay, so as you see, I have gotten into a little battle with these dust bandits here. So basically, the way it works is your guys will start fighting, and they'll do damage to, for example, if you click on the bandit, you can look at him. Okay, so one of my characters just hit his stomach for -20, and his left leg for 11. Okay, see there? There's his damage. He just took damage. So now as they play it out, they'll still hit each other, and they're actually fighting on there. They're blocking and they're hitting each other. And one thing that's really cool about this game is there's actually a lot of strategy to it, because if it's, for example, say say this guy here had his block on, he was blocking this guy's attack, okay? And he couldn't hit through him because his defense skill was so high. Okay, so what I could do is bring another guy behind him and attack him because the block skill only blocks from the direction the character is facing. So there's a bunch of different aspects to it, and there's a lot of strategy. I'm really hoping he adds more to the combat system, because after a while it gets kind of dry, just in the sense that all there is to do is watch your characters and reposition them if they're not doing very well. So like, for example, Garth, this guy here, he just got hit right there. So I'm going to run him around behind this guy and tell him to hit him from behind, chop him up like this, because he'll do more damage that way. Behind here. So this is pretty much all you do in the combat. It is kind of fun too, because you're watching your characters actually fight, unlike a lot of games where you, like the original RTSs and stuff, where they just kind of sit there and go, hit each other back and forth. That got really lame. That's really lame compared to this. I actually like watching the characters fight. I was always a big RPG fan, so this is kind of cool for me. But yeah, it's kind of like RPG meets RTS. Alrighty, so now I've killed all these guys, and I'm going to show you how to heal. So now some of my guys are wounded. Here, his chest is wounded, his right leg is hurt, his chest is hurt, his chest and right arm, you get the idea. Okay, so now everybody in your party has a medic skill. It gets higher and lower depending on how much you use it, that kind of thing. So you can select all your characters and just hit medic, and your characters will go right to work and start healing each other, the sick ones, or the hurt ones, I mean. So, for example, let's see if I can find one that's being healed. Okay, this guy's already gotten healed. As they healed, it'll bandage them up. The yellow bar represents a wound that was hurt and is now, has been attended to. He has a bandage on here, or whatever you want to say. So